him to the grid. You're ready for this?
Without doubt, the best place for overtaking.
What an incredible weekend.
We've seen history made.
Disaster for him and his teammates.
This is a game changer.
It's a crucial race.
Hello there, welcome to Paddock Uncut from Shanghai, China. Well, I say Shanghai, but we're a good 30 miles outside of downtown Shanghai, about the distance between London and Luton, and this place has even got its own car plant just outside the circuit. So plenty of people to talk to in their Thursday interviews in the paddock, from wise heads to... Let's just get on with it. And on the thing with Lewis, I mean, do you get the feeling that he still doesn't know how to handle you?
In what way?
I just, you know... I just get the feeling he doesn't know quite how to race with you yet.
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, we are racing drivers, and we try to protect our position or attack, you know, and in whatever position you are. So, yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know, in Mexico it worked out brilliant for me, so I looked great. This time, you know, you tried to fight for a position, and then, you know, we touched, which is very unfortunate. This time I was the unlucky one with damage to my car, but it could have also easily been the other way around. So that happens.
Do you have to race him differently the way you race other people?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Look, I mean, I have a lot of respect for Max, and I hope you can see that from the comments I've said about him in testing, where I think he's got the great potential to be a champion. And as we all know, he's such a talented driver. And geez, I remember I was in the same place when I was young, at his similar age. I was a bit older actually, but still, it's such a learning process being with all the pressure, being in the top team, and you're constantly learning. So, you know, he's going to have some great races and he's going to have bad races, just as I will do today. Being that I'm much older than him. But no, I think also, you know, if you look at the race when I started, I was very cautious at the beginning of the race. I was surrounded by drivers who were fighting for a different kind of race. You know, they're scrapping for points in a suboptimum car performing wise, and so they have to reach differently to get those points, because they're valuable in a different way, as where I'm fighting for a championship, being that I'm at the front end of the Formula 1 and team-wise in car. So I don't know, I had to approach it a little bit different to others. But I think respect needs to be kept between all the drivers, and of course, bit by bit, you learn how aggressive each individual is, and how much risk they're willing to take for those positions. So you just put the experience behind you and take note of it and move forwards.
Did you look at what you and the team could have done if both you and Daniel had had a clean race?
Yeah, but could, would, should. If you do that all the time, then you can do a lot of things different. So of course you look at it, and the whole team was of course disappointed with the outcome, because, you know, 2 cars retiring is not what you want. But that's racing sometimes.
Are you completely on top of what it was that switched the car completely off, and have Renault said that it's never going to happen again?
Not sure. I mean,
it's not the first time. I think in testing.
That's the thing. It happens. I think Max had it in Canada last year at the race. I had it in testing last year. Max had it in testing this year. So it's not the first time. And it seems like when it does happen, they know the reasons, but it seems like new things keep coming up when it happens. So look, you got to be optimistic it won't happen again, but is it like black or white? Unfortunately not. I think when everything's running so at such a high frequency, let's say, it's such a high performance, with motor racing, unfortunately things happen. So I'd like to say it wouldn't happen again, but yeah, well, you never know really.
And I know there's no point in doing this, but I quite like to do it. I quite like to do it. I quite like to do it anyway. If that hadn't have happened, you were going to go to what, 2-stop? Yeah, let's assume.
No,
you
so
were gonna go
the
to
original
pit stop.
plan was to. Yeah.
Okay. So you would have been on fresh tyres towards the end.
Yeah, I know what the question is. Absolutely.
What
You don't even
you
have
would
to
have won? You could have won the race. I think you might have
I
won
thought
the
you were
race.
going to ask me something else, but
Oh, really?
yeah.
No. Hang on. What did you think I was going to ask you?
Well, I thought you were going to ask about the last lap.
I was going to get onto that.
I definitely would have sent it. 100%. 100%. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to beat up on Valtteri because, you know,
Oh, it's
heaven
not
knows
about
a lot
him.
of
It's just
people-
about me.
No, I know.
I would have gone like, there's a gap. You're finishing second anyway. If you overshoot, you're finishing second. So, yeah, last lap for the win. You have to go. You have to.
I don't get affected by outside comments, and I've for sure reviewed everything. And if I could live the situation again, I wouldn't do anything different. So I'm fine with that, and people can always say what they want. So.
I think his reasoning was that Seb was about to shut the door and he didn't. If he felt he was going to go for it, he was going to take them both out, and then you look like a fool.
Take them both out.
Oh no! Not bank second. No. You've had virtual safety car ruin your race in Australia. You had the pit stop go wrong in Bahrain. You're not having much luck at the moment. No fault of your own, neither any fault of your own, and you've had the quicker Ferrari, arguably, certainly on Australia. You're a bit it's not. You feel that it's a bit unlucky?
I don't know if it's unlucky. I don't think it's anything to do with the luck, really, to be honest. Maybe at the safety car you can argue is, either it happens or it doesn't happen to you. But obviously we had an issue in the last race that cost us not to finish the race, and I don't think it's anything to do with luck. It's purely things that we have to improve, and yeah, it's disappointing, obviously, to have that early in the season such a bad result, but nothing that I could have changed.
Is there any possibility the guys could have wheeled you back, I don't know, into the garage, change your tyres and get you back into the race?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking afterwards, there's probably a lot of things that could have been done differently, but this is what happened, and we paid price for it, and hopefully don't need to worry about it later anymore.
I suppose it's difficult. They don't want to do it while one of your teammates is, injured in the box. They don't want to start working on the car. Maybe that was it. But they've obviously made pit stops much quicker. Is it worth it, though, to shave 0.2 of a second off a pit stop if it means that when it goes wrong, your car's going to be out of the race? Is that worth taking that chance?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of things are questionable in the end, and obviously we try to gain on everything, but unfortunately it was far from ideal, the end result. Obviously one of our guys got hurt, and but I don't know. My only job is to follow the lights and go when it's green, and it's even if it goes green for for 1 second, I'm gone already. There's nothing that you can turn it back to red or shout, but the same would have happened even if it flashes green once. We release the clutch and we go, and if we go meter, even half a meter, the same end result would have happened. So it's obviously far from ideal, but this what happened, and we need to do things better.
Congratulations on. I'm sure it's the gift that keeps giving. You still thinking about it?
For sure, it was a fantastic weekend, but now we're in Shanghai. We need to reset. I had a couple of days to really enjoy the last weekend and the last race, and for sure was an experience I will remember. But no, we need to focus on this weekend and reset.
Okay, so what made it then? Was it qualifying? Was it a setup that you landed on that was just perfect? Or?
Well, I think the setup was definitely perfect since beginning of the weekend. Since FP1, I felt like super good with the car. Balance was great. In qualifying, we managed to have perfect car at the right time in Q3, and managed to put my best lap in Formula 1 and at the right time. So for sure to start P5 was a huge help. Was important to stay in front of Kevin in the race, and to have the free air for the race. And everything came our way. We had a fantastic car, and I did a good race, and everything together we managed to get that P4. Yeah.
Okay, so is that why it worked for you and maybe didn't work for Brendan? Because it didn't, with the same car, he had difficulties, whereas you really didn't have any difficulties.
Yeah, he struggled a bit more. I didn't feel as comfortable in the car, but I think it's been also quite unfortunate with the penalties, because in more normal conditions I think it would have been quite easily in the points P9 or P8. So I think it didn't really show like his full potential there, but he had definitely good pace, and for sure I expect him to be faster for the next couple of races. Yeah.
A weird thing that happened in Bahrain. I mean, I know you weren't going to get the points anyway because of the incident, but on the formation lap with Brendan, what was that all that about?
Yeah, I don't understand that. I actually have to speak with Charlie to clarify what happened there, because so basically what happened off the line, I do 2-man start and I overtake Harley as he gets a bit slow offline, and so in turn 1 I warm up my brakes, and then afterwards he doesn't try to recover his position. I'm slowing down quite a bit, but the problem is when we go to the stewards is that he didn't knew that I shouldn't be ahead of him, you know. So that's why he never attempted to claim his position back, and that's why I got the penalty. But I don't understand why I got the penalty. It should have been him, because he was the one that was not in his position. So I don't know. I just need clarifications on the rules. You know, I've been overtaken 1,000 times. I overtake a lot of times as well, but normally the car behind retakes the position.
Yes, you should always study the grid layout, shouldn't you, before you go to the grid. Does the fact that you scored a point prove that Force India, the car, is getting there?
Yes, I think so. You know, we move in the right direction, which is always positive. We have new bits again here, hoping to improve and unlock some performance again. It's going to be key to come back, you know, during this season.
Do you feel that the team is somewhat of a wounded beast at the moment?
I don't think it's a wounded beast. I think the team, I mean, I still believe we're the best team. I still believe we've definitely still got the potential to win races and to fight for this championship. But, you know, it's been a very successful team for a long time, and what's really important is that we all stay on our toes. Last weekend I qualified 4th, so I didn't perform at my best, so I didn't bring my A game in qualifying. I feel like I did in the race, but it was a bit late by then. But as I said, when I bring it, every single member of the team needs to make sure, we all need to make sure we bring the utmost, and it's even more crucial this year because it's magnified being how close it is between us all. So Ferrari really performing well, Sebastian's and Kimi are both performing really well, and even Valtteri is performing well. So I think it's a tougher season than last year, but we're still, we're only 2 races in. So in my mind, I'm arriving this weekend, and I'm like, I want to win the next 19 races somehow.
Are you familiar with the work of the Jackson 5?
A little bit, yeah.
You know, they did a song called ABC.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
You know where I'm going with this?
No.
A, Australia, B, Bahrain, C, China. Can you do hey, see, I like it. Can you do the easy as 1, 2, 3 this weekend?
I don't know. It seemed very easy when they sang the song. I think it's a bit more work for us, but yeah, I don't know if we can leave such a lasting impression, but we'll try. I mean, as I said, it's difficult to predict. I think Mercedes is the favorite going in. Conditions are different here, the track's different. Well, not necessarily that. I think overall, they're still left with the strongest impression if you look from testing onwards. So for sure, last weekend in Bahrain was very good for us, but then it's a bit unclear how much was the track or conditions. So we have to wait for the race here. Then I think we can tell a little bit more, but overall we are in a good shape. The car is working well, and if we get it in the right window, then we know we can be very competitive.
Well, of course, the colour red, auspicious and lucky in Chinese culture, so you never know, maybe Sebastian Vettel does have a chance of making the ABC and winning the first 3 races of the championship. But with Lewis Hamilton's enviable record around here in China and his team Mercedes wanting to make up for their poor, by their standards, first 2 races of the season, it looks like anything could happen. Thanks for joining us. See you throughout the weekend. Bye-bye.
Sky Sports F1. Feel it all.